They're everywhere. First port of call. This could be interesting. Okay, Charlotte Atkins, thank you very much for giving me a few minutes this afternoon. Obviously it's the big day tomorrow. I'm going to ask you a couple of introductory questions first of all. Can you tell me, how long have you been involved in politics?
That's a big question because I've been involved a very long time. I think I probably started stuffing envelopes when I was about 5 years old. My mum and dad have always been involved in public service, and in fact my dad's coming up to his 101 birthday and he's still involved. My mother sadly has passed away, but she was very much involved in the peace movement. Right,
okay, well that's interesting to know. The next question I've got is just for the benefit of obviously the Leek public and surrounding area. Just tell me what your ward is, please. Where your ward is even.
The county division of Leek South incorporates the district areas of Leek East, Leek West and Leek South. And then the rest of Leek is just Leek North, and that's in the Leek Rural County Division.
Okay. My next question is obviously the campaign. You're very close now. How's the campaign gone?
I think it's gone all right, but I'm never complacent. We've had a good response on the doorstep.
Do you feel nervous?
I'm always nervous. Never complacent about results. It'll be close, I think, tomorrow.
I don't think nerves is a bad thing personally, but that's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
I have a couple of questions. I've got, as I was explaining before, some of my friends I'm in a little WhatsApp group with have thrown some topical questions in for me to ask. So I'm going to ask you these questions, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of these things before, but I want to apologise for asking. Traffic in Leek, traffic congestion, various roads, West Street, Stockwell Street, and it can be gridlock. What's your views?
Oh, it's absolutely awful. The getting rid of the roundabout was supposed to be to improve traffic flow, a so-called scoot system. It hasn't worked. It's been a nightmare. And of course, there have also been very serious accidents occurring as a result of people using the so-called shared space. Hasn't worked, needs to be sorted, and unfortunately, we seem to have constant congestion.
Can you do anything to influence that?
I certainly can. I mean, what I did, obviously, as a county councillor, was try to make the junction with Stockwell Street, Buxton Road and Ball Hay safer by changing the traffic sequencing there. But I think there needs to be much more done in terms of the traffic signal sequencing. I can't see that we're going to bring back the roundabout, unfortunately, but we need to improve traffic flow.
And in terms of the sort of public traffic services, the bus station looks a little bit run down. What's your views with the bus station?
Well, it's not directly a county council responsibility, but it does look run down. It's not a good gateway for Leek. People turn up on the bus and it looks a bit run down. That's certainly something which we should be improving. Because a lot of people do come in on the bus. It's a good bus service.
What about a train station? What's your views there?
Well, of course, Morrison's is where the train station was. And I think it's a shame that we don't have that connectivity. But of course, the steam railway is constantly extending, and hopefully one of these days, at least we'll be able to get there. We'll be able to get to Alton Towers on the steam railway.
Community facilities, in terms of recreation grounds. I live quite near to Westwood Recreation Ground and Westwood Road. I'm just wondering if there's any provision to improve certainly for children around the town. What's your opinion there?
Well, the Action West End, of course, are constantly doing work in the West End recreation ground. But I've been talking to a young man called Mark Bocock about improving the skate park at Brough Park, because that is where a lot of youngsters go. And the facilities at the moment are absolutely appalling. So I've been talking to the district council officers about that, because it's long past its sell-by date. And of course the Friends of Brough Park, which I'm heavily involved with, they do a marvellous job. Like, they've got the multi-use games area called the Mugger. Some people don't like that term. And they're also involved very much in art in the park, putting on refreshments, and I'll be there serving all day long.
And finally, in terms of my set of questions, it's huge in the town at the moment, and you can't ignore it. Everywhere you go, there's a banner or a sticker in someone's window. Leek Hospital. The suggestion is it's going to be closed. what's your take on that, and what can you do in terms of preventing it from being closed?
Well, I was one of the first people to alert people in town to the problem of the closure of beds at Leek Hospital, because I read the NHS Sustainability and Transformation Plan, all 88 pages of it, and that talks about closing down 167 beds, community beds, 37 of which obviously is going to be Leek. But we can win this fight simply because at the County Council we have a very powerful health committee that I've been sitting on for the last 4 years and have taken the lead for Labour on that committee. And we scrutinise all the decisions that the local health bosses make. They have to account to us for what they're doing, and we will make sure that that decision is referred back to the Minister for him to overturn, because we need these beds. And when I saw Marcus Warnes, the boss of the local NHS body responsible for the hospital, I asked him if he would guarantee, if he closed the beds, which of course we want to keep, but if he were to close the beds, would he still guarantee that we'd keep the minor injuries unit, we'd keep the x-ray facility, we'd keep the physiotherapy, the blood testing, and the loads of other services which were there on tap for local residents? And he said he would give us no guarantees. So the assurance we've had from the Conservative MP that the hospital would remain safe is clearly not true. And I was accused by the Conservative candidate of scaremongering when I alerted people to what was in that NHS report. Now we all know that the fight is very definitely on. Sadly, the consultation is not starting until after the general election, but you can be absolutely sure that if I'm elected, I will be fighting from the Health Committee of the County Council, and I will ensure that the decision, if it is made, is referred to the Minister. But I'll also be ensuring that we have motions at full council and that we get everyone on board right across the parties, because this community hospital serves a vast area. It's not as if it's just on the edge of the city, it's not. It's covering a vast rural area as well as the Leek residents.
It's a very emphatic answer, and thank you very much. Very interesting as well. Finally, the final thing I was going to ask, I might take you a little bit by surprise here, but I was going to say, if I give you 1 minute exactly, you can use less if you like, just to summarise why I should vote for you tomorrow.
Because I have a track record of getting things done. I have a long community service in Leek as the local Member of Parliament and a district councillor, town councillor and a county councillor. I've done a number of things recently, for instance, ensured that we kept the wardens at Pickwood Close and Mount Pleasant, ensured that we kept open local facilities like our local library, for instance, when the Tories wanted to close down a lot of facilities. My take is that I'm always there for the community. I'm always ready to take on a fight. One of the things that I've been very concerned about is the cuts in the local schools.
You've got 15 seconds.
I'm very, very concerned about the impact of Conservative cuts right across the board, particularly for the elderly and infirm.
Wonderful, perfect timing. Charlotte, thank you very much for giving me a few minutes this afternoon. I do appreciate it, and I certainly wish you all the best tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here we go. Gail Lockett, good afternoon, and thank you very much for taking time out for me to speak to you. So I'm going to start with my first question. How long have you been involved in politics, Gail?
I got voted into the district council 2 years ago this month, but I've been on the outskirts of council for many years. I used to be, well, I was the consort to Steve Pavey when he was mayor, so I've always been on the outskirts of it, but I didn't put myself forward until recently when my children grew up.
Okay, tell me your ward. Where is your ward?
My ward is Leek South.
Okay, and the campaign, your campaign, how's your campaign gone?
The campaign's gone very well. I've had a lot of very, very good reports. People have been so supportive and kind and given me such wise words. It's been absolutely wonderful.
Nervous? Big day tomorrow. How do you feel?
Very nervous because all this is new to me. So yes, I'm very nervous, but if people want me, they'll put that X in the box.
Indeed. So okay, I'm in a little group of friends on WhatsApp. Okay, And I threw into the group today that I'm going to speak to yourself and Charlotte Atkins. And I've got one or two topics I just wanted to broach with you. So I've got traffic around the town. Traffic congestion was one of them. Even specific streets were mentioned: Stockwell Street, Garden Street, West Street. What's your view on the traffic congestion?
The traffic is going to get worse and worse. People are driving more. We need the bypass. I will campaign for the bypass. We need it. It's been on the cards for long enough and it needs to happen. We need to stop talking about it and get things done. People are fed up. We're bumper to bumper. The side roads being used as rat runs and it's not good enough. Somebody's going to get, well, we have lost lives and it's not good enough. The little boy who died by the park, it was shocking. I want to put some kind of, I would like a chicane system there to slow the traffic down. Something has got to happen and we've got to put it as a priority. The road system is shocking.
And that moves me on to the sort of public transport services, and the bus station's been thrown in. I'm not sure that's something you can influence, but it's quite a rundown, gaff looking. What do you think of Leek bus station?
The bus station itself is a bit run down. I've noticed there's work going on around there. We are sorting out the antisocial behaviour because the order is in place now. I've spoken quite a bit to the police about the antisocial behaviour. It's gone through the courts and it's gone through the council, so it is in place. Let's get it sorted out. Let's keep it clean. Let's be proud of our town.
If I said train station in Leek, what's your opinion? I didn't.
Yes, please.
You
Definitely, without a doubt. It's on the cards. We've had meetings about it, and I honestly believe it's going to happen. I know everybody says, "Oh, we've heard it for years." Well, I haven't been in council for years. I'm new to it, and I will push for the train station. I think we can get it. There's tracks still there. Let's get it up and moving, and not just the train station. Let's open the basement for the canal. Let's get it moving. We've got a Cornhill site. The Cornhill site needs to be started, and we need to push it forward.
Thank you very much. And me penultimate quite little question is the community facilities in Leek. So if you look at, say, Westwood Road Rec, and for children especially, what do you think our sort of community facilities are like, and could they be improved?
They can always be improved, and I've been talking to a lot of people. We need to talk to the children. Let's ask the children what they need. Let's go into the schools and put their ideas forward. I would like a graffiti wall for them. They won't mess it up. It's their wall. Let them do what they want with it. Let's ask them what they want. And the Westwood Rec is the same as Brough Park. Why can't we have some adult gym equipment as well? Let's improve the areas. Brough Park needs a lot of investment, and we need to bring it back into the 21st century. Let's move forward and make it better. We can make it better. We can get the money. Let's fight for some money.
And finally, a huge topic. You can't walk anywhere in Leek without seeing the stickers in the windows and the campaigns that have been going on, petitions, social media. Leek Hospital. Obviously, there's talk of the hospital closing. Your views on that, and how can we keep the hospital open?
I've been told by Karen Bradley that the hospital isn't closing. We've had confirmation the hospital is closing, but we need to fight. We need to fight for the wards. The wards are full. Let's keep them open. I've been going to the meetings which have been chaired by Pam Wood, and Danny Ogden, Councillor Danny Ogden was there, and so was myself and a handful of other people. We've got ideas. We need to put a strategy forward. We could turn the wards into a step up, step down basis, but we've got to put something forward. Money has got to be saved. There's no question about that. But we have got to put a strategy forward to the CCG, and we've got to fight for it. But let's fight for the wards, fight for the hospital. Let's make it better. The building needs to be sorted out. It's not fit for purpose. It's leaking. It needs money spending on it. So let's get the money. Let's fight for it. Everybody's fighting for the money, and we need to fight as well.
Thank you, Gail. My last little bit of this interview is, if I was to say to you, you've got 1 minute, and 1 minute only. You don't have to use 1 minute, so I don't want to put you under any pressure. But you've got 1 minute to tell me why I should vote for you tomorrow. What would you say?
I would say if you want a local person who cares about the town, you'll vote for me. I'm passionate and I'll be your clear, strong voice at county. I'll be honest and I'll serve you with integrity. I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes the truth is going to hurt, but I'd rather tell you the truth than lead you down a garden path. Then we could work with the truth. But I will be your clear voice and I'll be strong and I'll put your views forward. I'll be there to serve the public, not the other way round.
Gail, that's good. Thanks very much for giving me some of your time this afternoon. I do appreciate it, and of course I wish you good luck tomorrow. Thanks very much, Gail.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.